Hi, my name is Chris Lipman. I look after customer service and customer experience for StarHub, Singapore's best network and best telco easily. And I'm here to explain to you the benefits of Kefir. Now, we've all heard about Kefir, water Kefir, milk Kefir, and it's I guess the new fad right now. But you may also notice that it's very expensive to buy Kefir from the supermarket. It's $7 a bottle or something, and you know, you're supposed to drink an awful lot because it does have some amazing health benefits. What are those health benefits? Well, come over this way. So the health benefits of water Kefir are it's rich in probiotics, it improves your immunity, it boosts overall health, it contains friendly bacteria, and it improves digestion. Now, how was this discovered? It was discovered because there's certain villages in Eastern Europe where they drink an awful lot of this kefir and they live to 95 to 100 years old without any kind of health problems. And so they started examining why. And this bacteria that is produced, it basically, your stomach acid can't kill it till it's all the way down into your stomach, so it stays alive, and it has very, very beneficial effects as I've discussed. So, how to make this? Well, you're going to need some equipment to make this, not very much though, and I'll step you through some very, very basic ingredients that you need. So, if you'll focus down here, the first thing you need is sugar, essentially 4 tablespoons of brown sugar. Please note that you can't use white sugar, you can't use anything refined, so the brown sugar is what you have to use, or raw sugar. The next ingredient you'll need is the actual kefir grains. Now these are commercially available, but here in Singapore there's actually banks where you can get them for free. Members just join and they donate back to the bank, and they also take back from the bank. These need to be refrigerated when not in use, otherwise they will die. They're actually live grains. You will need a wooden spoon, a plastic funnel, and a plastic sieve. Notice that all this stuff is plastic and wood. Why? Because metal must never touch the kefir grains. Okay, it has a very nasty effect on them where they basically die or don't do what they're meant to do. I don't really know the reason, but you must never let metal touch it. So, then what do? You essentially need 4 cups of water. So, that's 2 cups. You pour that in a glass jar. I like to use bottled water because it's pure. So here's another 2 cups. So we have 4 cups of water there. Now, first step is you add the 4, so it's very easy to remember, 4 cups of water, 4 tablespoons of sugar. So now we pop that sugar in. Pour the rest in. This is actually 4 tablespoons that I measured out earlier. Notice I'm using a plastic spoon. And then you use a wooden spoon to stir this thoroughly such that all the grains absolutely dissolve. So I'll just keep stirring that. Now while I'm dissolving this, some interesting things. It actually is in 2 fermentations. So what I'm going to show you is the first fermentation, and essentially this lasts for 48 hours. After 48 hours you do the second fermentation with fruit, which makes it taste delicious and really gets that fizz going. Okay, so this is nearly done. So you've got to make sure they're all perfectly dissolved. I think we're getting pretty close there. Yep, that looks pretty good. So once that's dissolved, you then add the kefir grains, and you just basically throw them in. They're pretty slippery, so they just go straight in. There we go, it's just like to waste them. And now, you just leave them, and you essentially let them sit for 48 hours, like this. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to do the second fermentation. So here is one that I prepared earlier, and you can see it's actually much lighter. If I put the one that I just prepared before, it's actually much lighter. And the reason is that the kefir grains have eaten through the sugar, and therefore they've got rid of the brown tinge to it. So you take the covering off, and if you want to just come and do a close up here, you can see that it's all fizzy inside, which is good. That means all the kefir grains are working as they should. Now it's time to salvage the kefir grains, and get them in the fridge, so they basically stop working. So how do we do this? Well, we need a funnel and a jar and a sieve. So you come over to the sink with me. Just set this up like this. And we sieve. Remember I said at the outset it must be a plastic sieve, not metal. Now this jar is not quite big enough. It's not quite big enough. So with the grains that are remaining here, I will take them out. Let me just show you. Sieve out the rest here. Okay, and these grains, these are the kefir grains, they can be reused many times infinitely until they die essentially. So these we'll pop in the fridge, we'll pop back in the ramekin, and we'll pop these back in the fridge. Now, what we have left is this raw kefir, and this is the first fermentation of kefir. So now we add fruit. Now my favourite fruit to use in this is passion fruit. You can experiment with whatever you like, so long as it's, the higher the sugar content. Essentially, this is the kefir grains. The kefir bacteria that is in here will keep fermenting, so you add fruit, it eats through the sugar of the fruit. If you're doing it correctly, the end mixture tastes fruity, but not sweet at all. Mangosteen is another favourite of mine. There's lots of other things you can try. Some work out, some don't work out. Berries, blueberries taste quite nice, and they have a very nice sour kind of fermented taste. So, now you add the fruit. Getting all that pulp out. Throw it all in. Okay, and now this needs to stay out of the fridge for another 24 hours while it ferments. So now we cover it up again. Or if you want it extra fizzy, you can actually put the lid on it. Now you do need to be careful. I like it super fizzy, but if you put the lid on it, make sure it's a good quality glass jar, and then maybe wrap a towel around it, because it actually fizzes so much that sometimes they can explode. So this is, you need to be very careful. However, if you do it properly, you get very fizzy drink at the end of the day. So I'm going to do that because I like that fizz that you get from it. And so essentially seal these jars. I bought these jars from IKEA, and so they're readily available. They're not even very expensive, and they're actually a really good size for it, just short. So now you wait 24 hours, and you come back and you have a finished product. And then you essentially take this and you put it in the fridge. As soon as you put it in the fridge, fermentation stops. It tastes delicious when it's chilled, so I recommend you leave it in the fridge for a couple of hours, and then drink and enjoy the kefir, which is not only delicious, but has amazing health benefits for you. And you can see you can make it yourself with very little hassle, and it's nearly free. Like, all you're paying for is sugar and some bottled water, and that's it. So no need to pay $7 at the store. You can actually make it yourself, and it's just as good as the one you get commercially. So thanks very much. That concludes Lipman's Kitchen, where I'm showing you how to make kefir. Until next time, see you later. Thanks very much.